try this again. Yes, we are. We'll try again. Good morning, everyone. I am back. I am back. Yeah. We have a busy morning this morning. Okay. So, hey guys, as you know, I started the video a little while ago and there was a knock at the door just a few minutes ago. And I had to get that because there was a hornet in here, and a pretty big hornet, and I didn't want it to get to my birds and scare them or hurt them, and I couldn't find it. But there were a couple other things that I had to tend to. So when you're in an apartment, you've got to communicate as best you can all of the things that may need to manage it and to help manage it. So look at both of them. Now I gotta tell you, they're both taking a break from nesting and trying to nest, and you can see how nice and clear and clean the cage is. And now I want to unplug this lamp. Hi, honeys. I don't want to scare you. Yeah, I'm just gonna unplug that. I know that's nerve-wracking. I just wanted to unplug that lamp, and we're gonna put that out of their way because at night I set a special lamp up for them, and the reason is, some people say that, we'll put this closer so you can see the finches. Some people say that the finches should be in complete darkness, and I can tell you firsthand, they do not like complete darkness. That's why they get night frights. That's why any caged bird will get a night fright, is because they do sometimes wake up in the middle of the night to get water or something, just like people. Or they may lose their way off the perch. And so they need a little soft night light, but they need to be able to get in the corner of the cage where they can rest. So you see them down at the bottom of the cage because that's where there's food. And then there's also in the upper part, you can see up here, guys, this is food. And now you'll notice in the back, where Umi just was in the back, there's actually two bowls. Like they're flying around a lot. They have their space back. There's something I moved to give them a little more space. I'm thinking what it was here. Yeah, there she goes. And so if it's too crowded, they feel they will fuss with each other. If it's so this is what happened. I was explaining earlier. I'm going to explain again for those of you, because I had to cut the video abruptly because I did need help getting the hornet. The hornet is out, so my birds are safe and I'm safe. I don't like sleeping in a place where there's a hornet flying around. But he came out of his hiding place while we were talking. So anyway, this morning they got into a fight over their nest. Every time the female started to start a new nest, the male, Mashuki, would fuss with her and make her stop. Now she's able to build her new nest. What she was trying to do was abandon the nest. So I had to take it out. That was my cue to take it out. Okay. So if you love finches, guys, let's see here. We're going to look up 8 fun facts about finches. Okay, and this is by um, kingsyard.com. Let's see if I'll get in here, be able to get into this site. Okay, so now this is talking about wild finches, but you know these beautiful little finches are stemming from the wild ones. So what I have are Bangalese finches, and what we're going to talk about right now is the goldfinch. And if you're always feeling down and you kind of have mood swings, whatever, the most cheerful bird, and this is true, that you can get to come around your place is the goldfinch. And the other place that I lived at for 10 years, I worked 10 years feeding the birds and trying to get different breeds. Guess what? I got a whole family of goldfinch. And I went over there the other day, and there were 5 babies sitting right over the apartment that I used to live in, because the other neighbors have taken over to continue feeding those beautiful, beautiful goldfinches. So goldfinches are irreplaceable members of our ecosystem. They sing cheerful songs, and they really do, guys. It's unbelievable. And they're the most beautiful, playful, intelligent creatures. So they show you here a picture of a goldfinch. But guess what? The little Bengalese finches that I have, this is a picture quickly. These little Bengalese finches that you see right in front of you, and I'll put the camera a little closer so you can see. It's okay, honeys. There. I don't want to make them, they'll see themselves moving in the camera, so I want to keep it where I can see them. But, so the goldfinch is a beautiful, beautiful finch, very playful and intelligent. So the goldfinch, that you will see flocks of them. You usually won't just see one, but you'll see like 5 or 6 of them all at a time and all singing. And they're very acrobatic, and so are the little Bengalese. Now see what Umi did, she just pushed the male Mashuki away from the food because she's feeling confident and happy and a little dominant today, because she actually, so believe it or not, me being their owner, they consider me, believe it or not, as part of the flock. So when I took out that nest this morning, because it was time, it needed cleaning, it needed to be out of there, it was toppling over. She was right, it was time to start a new nest. But when I took it out, she was just singing and singing. Here she goes singing now. Yes, good morning, honeys. How are you? How's my baby? Hi, Umi. Hi, sweetheart. How's my angels? How's my angels? So they love the sun, and they love to be talked to, guys. They do. They love when you talk to them. But we'll keep the cameras on so you can see them hopping around. So, so we're talking about the goldfinch, and we're going to the Bengalese in a minute. But the goldfinch are one of the most popular wild finch birds in North America. And yes, they're known for their acrobatic skills. They're always kind of turning upside down on the branches and flying around like playing. And you can hear their distinct calls throughout the year. And goldfinch pairs will make the same identical calls. So it's the same with the Bengalese, the finches you're looking at right now. They can make the same call if they want to. So goldfinches use the feathers as insulation, kind of like fluffing them up around their body. Lots of birds do that. And so I wanted to show you another picture of the American goldfinch, guys, in case you haven't seen it. It's a really gorgeous, beautiful bird. See it? It's a bright yellow with its black feathers, and I've seen them all yellow. Okay? All yellow. So, now the European goldfinch and the American goldfinch, these are the wild finches I'm talking about. They are actually members, yes, of the all of the, yeah, of course they're members of the, I don't know why it's saying that. They're members of the finch family, but yeah. They're all members of the finch family, the American finch, European finch, and let's see. And then you have, if you want to get the wild finches in your yard, guys, sunflower seeds will do it, okay? They love sunflower seeds, and so many of the other birds do prefer that also. So that's just a little bit about the wild finches. Now the Bengalese finch that you're looking at right now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about their eyesight because it's kind of crazy, incredible. And I'll have to read it because I want to make sure that I get it right. So the Bengalese finch, which is this finch that you're looking at right now, my finches, they have what they call UV sensitivity, and the tetrachromats, the Bengalese finches possess 4 types of cone cells in their retina, one more than humans. So their eyesight, guys, is not the same as yours and I. They alerted me that I don't know how long this hornet has been in here, but they did alert me like a number of days ago. There was a big alert, and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't find anything. I looked outside. This thing must have been in here for days. Can you imagine? So when I was talking with my friend here, or there, who was here, the hornet came out, so he was able to get it. But listen to their happy call. Hi, honeys. Hi. So what happens with their eyesight, because they have an extra cone, is it allows them to see in ultraviolet light and violet regions of the light spectrum. So light that we have in here today, for them, they're seeing each other and me in ultraviolet light. And if the light goes away when it gets dark at night, they'll see in black and white, basically. But these little guys see in ultraviolet light, and it helps them identify food. It helps them to recognize faces and people, and recognize plumage patterns, so other birds that are not visible to the eye, human eye. The colored oil droplets, the cones within the finch's retina, contain specialized colored oil droplets that act as filters, narrowing the absorption spectra of the pigments. So basically, it enhances the ability for them to see different shades of color. So, do you know what's interesting about that? Is that you and I don't look at each other thinking that we're seeing different shades of color, like, you know what I mean? Like, you look and you're catching an overall color of the landscape. or of animals or birds. So you're not seeing the intricate colors that they see. Okay. Hi, honeys. Hi, Umi. She's talking to me right now, guys. Hi, honey. What you want to say? You got your water? Yeah. Are you happy today? Yeah. The reason why they're happy is because they don't have to go sit on the nest. They're not having to take turns. So they can both be now eating, or both be swinging on the swing, or both be singing, and it's a good break for them. I noticed the frustration the past week, especially with them, with the nest. And, they're still babies themselves. They don't have to have a whole brood. They don't ever have to have a brood if they're not able to accomplish, no big deal. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of getting them a little parakeet friend because the other cage that I have is small. And I figured out how to keep them warm through the winter because that is super important, guys. You do not want to keep them in drafty areas. Okay. Now, the high density cones that are in their eyes, the retina of the finches and similar songbirds is densely packed with cones, providing a much higher resolution image compared to humans, which allows them to detect finer details. Not only do they detect details right in front of them, guys, but they can tell, as I've told you before, movement outside, yards away, that may be very different, or they may consider dangerous. So these beautiful little finches, guys, when they look at something like this plant that's right next to them right here, they're going to see a much more detail in the leaves and in the plant than you and I see. So the visual adaptation for courtship, the ability to see UV light, is crucial for social interactions, as many finches have UV reflective patches on their feathers that are used to select mates and display fitness. Now, you and I can't see the patches, but I can tell. Hi, honey. You said Umi's sitting there listening to me. See her not moving almost? She's on the other side, like Mashuki's moving, but Umi's just staring and staring and staring at me. I don't know if you can see it. The one who's moving, that's Mashuki. And on the other side, hi, honey. What you saying? Little Umi, the one that's staring at me so intently. And I don't know, they do that. They will sit like that. Like, she will sit like that for 10 minutes or more straight, watching me sew, watching me work on the computer. She will not move. And she just looks and looks and looks at me, almost like a mother looking at a child. I'm not kidding you. They know I'm part of the flock. I'm a pretty big finch, though, when you say. To them, I'm part of the flock. So, what you saying, honey? What you saying, baby girl? So, each of these finches have teeny tiny little specks on their bodies that I can see, but are amplified in color to them. So you and I can see the variations. Hi, honeys. What you saying? Of their coloring, which is from chocolate to cream color to some white. Umi has more silver because she is similar to the silver bill finch, and that goes back thousands and thousands of years. So I'll tell you how far back they go. Hold on. But so that's a little bit about their eyesight. So let me just read one more little thing about the eyesight of these finches. The while normal Bengalese finches have dark eyes, the specific genetic mutation exists that causes red eye Bengalese. These red eye variations can appear in white, black, or fawn plumage that have a distinct visual appearance caused by the mutation. So that's what I was just describing. Both of them have, for their color of their feathers, they have fawn, chocolate, white. She has white plumage on her rump, right above her tail. Yes, hi, honeys. And you can see the sun almost reflects some of the beautiful, beautiful silver coloring. And I'm going to tell you why their coloring is so beautiful, guys. I've been giving them this. Let me show you what it is. It's this. It's Molting and Conditioning by KT. So I put a teaspoon of this in their regular birdseed every day. So they get just a teeny tiny bit of it. But it's helped with they were molting, and they were kind of like, you could tell they were uncomfortable. And this helped a lot. And it's making their plumage beautiful. Hi, honeys. Yeah. They are now on to the fact that I'm on the camera. So they're used to it. They know it. So I'm just going to put this back over there. So let me tell you how far back the Bengalese go. So the Bangalese finches, its origin, as we know, is in Asia. And while some sources suggest the history of them go back 1,000 years, it's actually more. The origin of the domesticated bird, these birds go back 3,500 years. The origin of the finch Okay. Are you ready for this? I guess there's nobody out there. If you're scrolling, we just have had the camera on this morning on the beautiful little finches because we took out their nest. So you can see little Mashuki up in his swing. Hi, honey. Yeah. That swing is actually made of bird seed. So they can sit in the swing and eat their bird seed, and they love that. And love that, guys. And so the coverings for winter has been taken off of the cage. They got a complete haul out cleaning earlier this morning, and they got the nest taken out and cleaned out. So they are left with, they're able to play with each other, and they're enjoying this immensely. They've been singing. They just stopped singing. They've been singing for 2 hours straight, and I think they're just getting a little tired. But the finches, guys, they go back to, this is their ancestors I'm talking about. They go back to the mainland South American grassquit that arrived in the Galapagos Islands approximately 2 to 3 million years ago. Did you catch that, guys? 2 to 3 million years. The ancestral flock colonized the islands, leading to the rapid adaptive radiation of 14 to 15 distinct species known today. The ancestry is mitochondrial DNA. Analysis suggests that they originated from the tanager species, guys, in South America. So did you know that? That the finches that we see today are really from they do look like the tanager. And, but you can see why they're so smart. Their DNA, millions of years they have had to study their surroundings. So the islands themselves are like 3 to 4 million years old, and so the birds date back 2 to 3 million years, and they diverged in beak shape and size according to the different food sources on the island, which is something, yes, that Darwin studied, and adaptation and this and that. So the oldest fossils, so they say the oldest fossil goes back 10,000 years, but the actual bird itself, it started 2 to 3 million years ago. So anyway, and it gives a little bit of a short clip here, or info on Darwin's study of the finches, and we'll go into that next. We're going to make that a separate video, because this is super interesting, and I'll put the camera on the article when we go through it. But I'll leave this on the little finches for a few more minutes so you can watch them. See if I can get them a little closer. Hi, honeys. They stopped because they see they do see themselves in the camera. Their eyesight is phenomenal, guys. It's phenomenal. Don't forget that if you get a finch. Hi, who's that? RSL, how are you this morning? And we're just, I'm going to warm up my coffee while you're looking at the finches. We're just having a little finch chat this morning, that's all. We talked about the goldfinch being the wild, happy finch out in the wild. And these finches, how they have special eyesight, ultraviolet eyesight, guys. So I like to keep them in this room because it's brighter, and it's the brightest. And hi, honeys. What you doing, sweethearts? And Mashuki. Now they're just sitting and listening. They're listening to me is what they're doing right now. So you saw them kind of playing and chirping and singing, and now they're resting. So let me tell you something about them resting, guys. Okay. Excuse me. I need to actually go. I need to get them some. I don't need to, but I want to get them another little toy this week. But so let me tell you something about finches. They do rest. It is not a bad thing that they have quiet time, either in the morning after they've been chirping and singing for hours. They need to rest. They're teeny tiny little creatures. They will also rest in the afternoon. So when they do that, don't get nervous. Let them rest. Some people, it's been out on the YouTube that if they get tired and they're resting, that they must be sick. No. They rest a short time, and then they get back up and they eat and they play and they do this and that. That's just part of the routine. It's nothing to worry about. It's if they're sluggish and they're not eating and they're not coming out of their rest time. then you want to pay close attention and get them to the vet. Let's see, the other thing, just to let you know, so your birds, this is just based on some of the studies that we've done together here and that I have actually shared with you and have read to you. But just to kind of recap, the finches have absolute memory of your face and they know your voice. In other words, they know their owners. People think because they're kind of feral and they're not the type of bird that you can put your hand, you don't want to put your hand in there and scare them, you know what I mean? Because they're very skittish, and you've got to remember they go back millions of years of having been aware of predators. So it's totally in their DNA. They don't look at you as a predator, but it's just in their DNA to be skittish. So I'm pretty close to the cage. And hi, honey. How's my baby? How's my babies? Oh, man, Mashuki. Yeah. Hi, Mashuki. Hi, honey. How's my baby? If they're nesting, they would not really enjoy me being this close. Because they're not nesting, they're totally fine with me. Yeah. And they're playing, going on your swing. Where's your swing, Mashuki? See if he goes on his swing. Where's your swing? There it is. That was your swing. Yeah. So they know words, guys. They know their foods and they know words. They're incredibly intelligent. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you today a beautiful little Umi and Mashuki, and just let you know that if you have a nest, if your little finches have a nest, and you notice them starting to fuss with each other and not be happy because they should be singing in the morning and this and that. And I noticed this past week, and even like, they were just kind of not themselves. And I noticed this morning directly them really having a disagreement and not hurting each other in a fight, but a disagreement. She wanted to start a new nest and kept trying to start another nest, and he kept stopping her. So I took out the old nest. That meant it's time to come out. And they're so much happier. They're totally fine with me taking it out. Anyway, with that, I hope you have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you for coming back and being with me. And I wish you love and light, and we'll jump back on here. It's a beautiful day. We may stop over at the river. We'll do something along those lines this week. And you have a beautiful day, guys. Love and light.